Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jason, and it's great to be back here at I/O. This morning, you got to hear all about what we're doing for our billions of users. Now, I'm excited to share what we're doing for all of you, the developers who are solving everyday problems in powerful ways. Whether you're joining us here at Shoreline, or watching via the live stream, or joining us through one of 500 I/O Extended events, welcome. You know, one of the reasons I love my job is that I get to meet with developers from all around the world and hear what you're up to and what you're finding difficult. It helps me understand what we need to do as Google to make things easier, as well as what we can do better in our own products. And one thing that becomes instantly clear, from Lagos to Warsaw to Jakarta, is how important the broader development community is in helping each other figure out things and solve problems together. This kind of pay-it-forward culture is one of the great things about working in this industry. And I am constantly inspired by the stories I hear out of our Google developer groups and Google developer experts solving this thing. I see we have a few of them here today. Every year, with their help, we're able to reach more than 1 million developers through in-person events across 140 countries. And our Women Tech Makers program is able to engage more than 100,000 women advance their careers each year. Our developer community is truly important to us, and all of this would not be possible without their efforts. It's also great that in the last 2 years, we have had the number of Google developer experts double. These are amazing people, like Ryan Zahab. She both founded her local Google developer group and Women Tech Makers Lebanon. On top of that, she started a web development training program for Lebanese and Syrian refugee girls. We also have folks like Rebecca Franks, an IoT and Android expert in Johannesburg. Out of her passion for cultural preservation, she works on an open source app that lets children read books in their native African languages. Google would not be what it is today if it weren't for developers like Ryan, Rebecca, and all of you. So thank you. As you heard this morning, Sundar was calling out, the pace of AI innovation is breathtaking. A whole new set of capabilities is going to change the way we do things. And what's really exciting to me is that we're at an inflection point. AI used to be something that only deep experts and PhDs could use. And now it's becoming accessible to everyone. Let me show you what I mean.
I would totally describe myself as an average high schooler. I like hanging out with my friends, watching movies, getting my nails done. And lately I've been into machine learning using convolutional neural networks. I don't know why you're laughing at me.
Since childhood, she's always wanted to know everything.
Why is that? How is that? What does it do?
She just wants to be always learning, moving, doing different stuff.
I haven't always been into computer science, but my mom grows rose bushes in my front yard. Every season they'd get diseased, and then my mom and I would have to diagnose it.
Knowing Sheza, she wanted to do something about it.
I had the idea as a potential thing I could do for my research class with Miss Sun.
Why anyone would sit around their summer vacation teaching a machine to identify plants, not sure, but that was what she wanted to do.
I wanted to have a way people could diagnose plant diseases just by taking a photo of it. And so that's when I started looking into TensorFlow. I'd watch different tutorials and read blog posts every night.
Shaza took it upon herself to do all the background research necessary and then start to ask, what can this really do?
PlantMD works when a user takes a picture of the plant and it tells you what plant it is and whether it's healthy or diseased, and if it is diseased, what disease it is.
My first question was, is it an app that's only on your phone? And she's like, no. Somebody has downloaded this app and using it? That was like, wow. Something that I just was so proud.
I don't think you have to be a super genius to get into coding. Really, anyone can do it with an idea and with perseverance. I feel like open source technology and the wealth of information on the internet is empowering my generation. I know that I can do anything I put my mind to, and so can anybody else.
Amazing, right? And we're delighted to have Shaza and her family here with us today. So you can see why we're so excited about bringing technology like TensorFlow and MLKit to all of you. As developers, you can drop modules into your applications, add a few lines of code, and give them intelligent new capabilities. And this is only the beginning of what is possible. As a company, we're committed to empowering developers with the latest technology to build things that matter. And today, we'll show you what we're doing to make that easier. So over the next hour, we're going to talk more about new capabilities we're releasing, as well as the improvements we're making to the platforms and tools you use every day. So with that, let's get started with Steph, who's going to tell you the latest on Android.
Android is growing all over the world with billions of devices, and every month, billions of apps downloaded. Our developer community is growing rapidly, right alongside. In China, India, Brazil, the number of developers using our IDE almost tripled in just 2 years. With all this growth, we feel a responsibility to support this vast ecosystem. And listen, if you feel like your feedback drives what we say here each year, you are right. Like Kotlin last year. Since we made it a fully supported language, we've launched more and more support, taking advantage throughout Android. Already, 35% of pro developers use Kotlin. That number grows every month. And 95% of Kotlin users say they're really happy. More and more Android development is going towards Kotlin. We are committed for the long term. And if you haven't tried it, I would. Just as your feedback shaped investments so far, like Play Console, Android Studio, and Kotlin, your feedback shaped this year too. So let's cover 3 things today. First, distribution, making apps radically smaller so you get more installs. Second, development, helping you build faster with better APIs. And third, engagement, bringing users back more and more. Let's go straight into driving installs. So Android is growing. That's great. App size is also growing, and that is not great. Apps are targeting more people and more countries, which means APKs have more languages, more features. The larger your app gets, the less installs you get. And most people think that's an emerging markets issue, but it's true in all countries. So how could we make it easier to build smaller apps? Our best idea was hard for us. It meant re-architecting our entire app-serving stack. But it was the right way to do it. Today, we are excited to announce the new app model for Android. Using the Android App Bundle, a new publishing format, you can dramatically reduce app size. Apps need a lot of resources to work on every device. The bundle contains it all, but modularized. So when you download, Google Play's new dynamic delivery only delivers the code and resources a specific device needs. Now, we've tested this with many of you, and we've seen huge savings. LinkedIn saved 23%. Twitter saved 35%. Jomo saved 50%. Now, if you're wondering, how many devices does that work on? The answer is 99%. And that's because it's built on long-standing platform concepts like splits and multi-APK. We also wanted this to be almost no work for you. And so I'd love to have you see a demo from someone who's been instrumental, along with several teams who built this together. Please welcome Tor.
Thank you, Steph. So here I am in Android Studio working on my app, and I'd like to make it smaller. So what I'll do is open up our APK analyzer. And as you can see, most of the download size is for resources. We have several large image folders with different densities. So this is an app which can really benefit from the new dynamic delivery facility. To use it, I don't have to change a single line of code. All I have to do is rebuild my app as an app bundle. So I'll invoke the Generate APK dialog. As you can see, we have a new Android app bundle option. Next, I point to my key store, and I can also tell it to export my encryption key for Google Play. This is what lets the Play Store break apart my app and reassemble it into smaller versions. So then I'll trigger the build. And once that's done, we can take a look at the bundle file we just created. So as you can see, this looks just like the APK files that you already know and love, but there's some extra metadata here, which is what lets the Play Store do its magic. So now, in the interest of time, let's assume that I've already uploaded my app bundle and my signing key to the Play console. So then I land here. We have a new page in the Play console called the App Bundle Explorer. Take a look at the big number on the right. This tells me that when I publish this update, I'm going to save nearly 29% on downloads for my users. And this page lets me drill into just how that's possible. So in short, creating Android app bundles with Studio is super easy, and I hope you'll all try it out and see similar gains for yourselves and your users.
And all this is available now. App bundles and dynamic delivery are launching for production use today. Now, we're also working to increase installs in other ways. At GDC, we announced Google Play Instant, so you can try a game without having to install. Now, games who've adopted this have increased the number of players by up to 20%. Today, we're announcing that this is available for all game developers. If you want to try it right now, try launching Candy Crush Saga, because that launches today. And to make development easier, we're also releasing a Unity plugin and Coco's integration. Now let's dive into our second theme, making app development easier. Android's APIs could be easier. One person said, on Android, there's 6 ways to do everything. Last year, we launched architecture components. It was a test bed for new ideas, starting in top areas that you flagged, like life cycles and data. Today, so many top apps use these in production, and more than half of you have said you already use them or plan to in the next year. Today, we're announcing Android Jetpack, the next generation of Android APIs to accelerate Android development. Jetpack is a set of libraries and tools. We set the basic DNA by including support library and architecture components. Jetpack brings these together coherently and adds even more new libraries: work management, navigation, paging, slices, and Kotlin extensions across everything. All libraries are backwards compatible, which means they work on 95% of devices. So it's been a pain to schedule background tasks. Now, with Work Manager, you get a single, easy-to-use API that works nearly everywhere. And Jetpack is all about concise APIs. Those of you who've tried it say you're writing up to 1/3 less code. Jetpack and Kotlin are intentionally designed to work together, so you write only the code you need for a pleasant reading and writing experience. And Jetpack saves time by embodying opinions about what we found works best for Android development, like RxJava or material design. Jetpack's APIs are integrated with the IDE too. For instance, Android Studio now includes a navigation editor, which works with the library. So you can visualize your app flow almost like you're sketching on a whiteboard. You can add new screens, position them in your flow, and under the covers, we'll help you manage the backstack, conditional flows, until you get it just right. Overall, IDE tools, we think, are great helpers to make development fast. That's why everything you've seen, bundles, using Jetpack, comes with Studio support. And the team also worked on making everyday tasks faster. You told us, work on emulator boot time, and I'd like you to see it now.
All right, so first, let me show you how quickly our emulator can start now. Ready, set, go. As you can see, it's nearly instant. I was not cheating. It was not running in the background. The reason it's so fast is that we support snapshots. So we store the full state of the emulator into a file that we can then load back quickly. And you can create these snapshots yourself. So now I'm going to bring back a snapshot I took in the middle of a complex OpenGL 3D stress test. Ready, set, go. So you can see it's about 2 seconds, and it's up and running.
There are more speed enhancements. We added an energy profiler, integrated and improved system trace. There's a C++ profiler now. We promoted D8 compiler to stable after testing it on our own Android platform, which means smaller, faster binaries by default. And we added an ADB connection assistant to fix, hey, why can't I connect to that device? So that's Android development, faster and easier. We hope you try Android Studio and Jetpack previews today, including all the alpha stage new libraries. Jetpack is just a beginning for us. We are testing so many more new ideas, and we hope you watch for them in the months ahead. OK, so once your app is built, it's installed, we want to get users coming back. The slices Dave showed are a cool new way to drive re-engagement. We wanted these to be easy to build. So you'll find templates that are rich and flexible, so you can compose. You can start with something simple, like a set of rows or grids. Then you can add content, like text and images. But not just static content. You can also house real-time data and rich controls. And once you get the pieces together in a good setup, you can add the code to make slices interactive, like pause a song or go to the next one. So then you end up with this cool mini snippet of your app. And because it's Jetpack, slices work on 95% of devices, showing the power of building new features in a Jetpack world. This is also ready for everyone here to try today. Your slices will start showing up in search this summer, timed with the P launch, and Assistant later this year. So that's a quick tour of some of the biggest new areas of investment for Android, and how your feedback has been shaping the landscape. Now let's switch gears and talk about cool devices. At CES this year, we announced that Lenovo, Harman, LG, and iHome are all building consumer products powered by Android Things, a powerful platform for developing IoT products. This week, Android Things graduates from developer preview to 1.0, ready for everyone to build commercial devices. And everyone here at I/O will get a free Android Things developer kit. If you want to get it first, join the scavenger hunt today, or everyone here can pick one up tomorrow. As we continue to expand to more devices and more surfaces, our team and the Assistant team have been working closely together. To hear more, please welcome Brad Abrams.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph. This morning, you heard how the Assistant is becoming even more conversational and visual, helping users get things done, save time, and be more present. And developers like you have been a big part of the story, making the Assistant more useful across 500 million devices. DoorDash, Fitbit, Todoist, Starbucks, Disney, and many, many others are engaging with users through actions that they build. And smart home OEMs like GE, Arlo, Xiaomi, and Logitech have made more than 5,000 devices that work with the Assistant. In total, the Google Assistant is ready to help with over 1 million actions built by Google and all of you. And the platform's momentum has been growing every day. It's now available across 16 languages and multiple devices, including phones, smart speakers, TVs, cars, watches, headphones, and whole new categories of devices, like smart displays, which are coming in July. And we're delighted to see that many of you are starting to test the waters with this new emerging era of conversational computing. In fact, over 500,000 developers are learning and building with Dialogflow, our conversation development tool. Today, I'm excited to share how we're making it even easier for app developers and web developers to get started with the Google Assistant. You can think of your Assistant action as a companion experience to your main property that users can access from a smart speaker, even in the car, wherever they're not using their phone or laptop. And if you want to personalize that action for users, account linking lets you easily share state between your app and your action. And now, with seamless digital subscriptions, your users can enjoy the content and digital goods they purchased in your Android app directly in your Assistant action. Take The Economist, for example. Because I'm a premium subscriber in their app, I can now enjoy that same premium content on any Assistant-enabled device. But of course, creating engaging actions doesn't end with digital subscriptions. As you saw in the demos this morning, the Assistant is becoming a canvas that blends conversation with rich visual interactions for the phone and other devices like smart displays. And starting today, you can deeply customize the appearance of your action. You saw a glimpse of what was possible earlier today with demos from Tasty and Starbucks, but let me show you another one. Check out the game King for a Day here on a smart display. It looks beautiful here on the phone and on the TV. Of course, once you build an action for the Assistant, you want to get lots of people engaged with that experience. And for that, I've got 3 things to share. First, we're making it even easier for you to promote your action with something new we call action links. These are hyperlinks that you can use from anywhere that point directly into your action. Let me give you an example. Headspace has built a great experience for the Google Assistant that can help people meditate. Now, when they have some new content, they might share a blog post about it. This post contains an action link right there at the bottom, and that special link triggers the Headspace action directly in the Google Assistant. If you've already built an action and you want to spread the word, starting today, you can visit the Action Console to find your shareable action link. Okay, so now that you've acquired some new users, you want to engage them. And for this, we've got action notifications. Once users opt in, action notifications gives you a way to connect with them about new features and content. These notifications work on the phone even if users don't have your Android app installed. And now, with cross-surface notifications coming to the Assistant, you'll be able to re-engage with your users on speakers, smart displays, and other Assistant-enabled devices. But to consistently re-engage with users, you need to become part of their daily habits. And for that, the Assistant supports routines. This is the ability to execute multiple actions with a single command for things like waking up in the morning, getting to work, or many other daily tasks. And now, with routine suggestions, after somebody engages with your action, you can prompt them to add your action to their routine with just a couple of taps. So, for example, on my way to work each morning, my assistant can tell me how to beat traffic, and it can also help me order my Americano from Starbucks. We're excited to see how action links, action notifications, and routine suggestions will help you drive engagement. But the broader challenge of helping people connect with the right action is reminiscent of the early days of the web. Over the past 20 years, we've built up a lot of experience in connecting people with the right information, services, and content. And we're putting that expertise to work in the Google Assistant. For example, when somebody says, "Hey Google, let's start a maps quiz," the assistant should immediately suggest relevant games. For that to happen, we need to understand the user's basic intent. And that's hard because there are thousands of ways that users could ask to play a game. To handle this complexity, we're beginning to map all the ways that users can ask for things into a taxonomy of built-in intents. Today, we're making the first set of those intents available. And with these, you'll be able to give the assistant a deeper understanding of what your action can do. We'll be rolling out hundreds of built-in intents in the coming months. So with that, I'm excited to see how you all extend your experiences to the Google Assistant, how you'll build rich, immersive interactions, and create consistent engagement for your users. To learn more and get started building actions today, visit actions.google.com. And with that, let me introduce Tal, who will tell you about the web platform. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the web is the world's most critical resource for ensuring the free flow of information. The web is a fundamentally open and independent platform. So for developers, the web makes it possible to reach users around the world on almost any device. And for users, the web provides a truly frictionless experience. You tap on a link and load a page. And these properties have allowed the web to reach a massive scale, with over 5 billion devices accessing the web each month. And here at Google, from the very earliest days of PageRank to building our very own browser, we've been deeply invested in the continued growth and reach of the web. And as part of this, we have two main goals. First, to make the web platform itself more powerful and more capable. And second, to build tools to help you easily take advantage of this power. Over the past few years on Chrome, we've worked alongside other browsers to add capabilities to the platform to support new web experiences we've been calling progressive web apps, or PWAs. PWAs are websites that take advantage of modern web platform APIs to build experiences that can do things like work while the user's offline, send push notifications, or be added directly to a user's home screen. And universally, businesses that have built PWAs have seen incredible results. Take Instagram. Instagram launched their PWA last year to increase their reach to users with low-end devices, and they were able to double the retention of their web users. Times Internet has been launching PWAs across their products and saw an 87% increase in time spent per user for their Economic Times PWA. And when the Starbucks team rolled out their PWA, they doubled their daily and monthly active users on their website. And because the web adapts seamlessly to different devices and platforms, their mobile PWA also worked well for their desktop web audience. In fact, they found that the number of orders placed on the desktop version has grown to be about equal to the number of orders placed on their mobile version. And it's not just these businesses. Across sites that advertise with Google, we see an average mobile conversion rate boost of 20% when the site switches to a PWA. And we also build many of our own products here at Google as PWAs. Google Maps launched a new mobile PWA tailored to provide a fast and data-conscious experience. And Google.com itself is a PWA. It loads 50% less JavaScript over the network and can support features like retrying search queries if you're offline. And investing in a PWA today goes further than ever. Chrome OS now provides native support for PWAs, allowing them to be installed and run fully integrated and in their own standalone window. And we're incredibly excited that Service Worker, the underlying new API that makes PWAs possible, is now supported on all major browsers, including recently Edge on Windows and Safari on both desktop and mobile. This is probably the most important leap forward for the web in the last decade. So PWAs have fundamentally changed what the web can do, but that's only part of it. WebAssembly enables websites to run high-performance, low-level code written in languages like C and C++, and it has broad support across browsers and devices. And because this code has access to all of the web's APIs, WebAssembly enables a new class of content to run on the web platform. As just one example, the AutoCAD team took a 35-year-old code base that's older than the web itself, and were able to compile it to run directly inside a browser using WebAssembly. So now all of the power of AutoCAD is just a link away. So the web platform's been gaining all these great new capabilities, but we want to make sure it's easy for you to take advantage of them. So we've been working on the tools to help. Lighthouse is a feature of Chrome's built-in dev tools that analyzes your site and gives you clear guidance on how you can improve your user's experience. 500,000 developers are running Lighthouse against their site or as part of their continuous integration process to help avoid performance regressions or even to keep an eye on the competition. And today, we're launching Lighthouse 3.0, which makes Lighthouse's performance metrics even more precise and its guidance even more actionable. So Lighthouse helps you understand how you can upgrade your site. But we don't want to just give you advice. We want to give you the tools to help make sure any new sites you build are high quality by default. We started the AMP project 2 years ago to help make building fast web pages much easier. And I'm happy to share that AMP is evolving in some big ways. We're expanding the kinds of things you can do with AMP. We've added a bunch of features that support critical e-commerce experience in AMP, like search autocomplete, a full-featured date picker, and soon infinite scrolling lists. And businesses are seeing the benefits. As just one example, Overstock saw a 36% increase in revenue on their AMP pages. And we've introduced AMP Stories, an easy-to-use format for creating immersive stories on the mobile web. Now, all AMP content benefits from a fast, free, privacy-preserving cache that optimizes page loads. But they've had these google.com URLs. So we're fixing that with a new standard called web packaging. This is also the first step towards our ultimate goal for any fast, responsive web content to be able to take advantage of all of the benefits of AMP. And today, we're announcing a new way to take advantage of all of these tools. We introduced Chrome OS almost 7 years ago to showcase the best of the web and make computing accessible to all. Chromebooks grew 50% this past year, both units sold and 28-day active users. And we've expanded to tablets and detachables. But it's not just about access to technology. It's also about access to create it. And that's why we're expanding Chrome OS to support developers with the ability to securely run Linux apps on Chrome OS. So this means that many of your favorite tools, editors, and IDEs now work on Chromebooks. So starting with the dev channel on Pixelbooks, you can now build for the web on a platform built around the web. And soon, you'll even be able to run Android Studio on Chrome OS. So all in all, it's an incredibly exciting time to be a web developer. Businesses around the world are consistently seeing substantial returns from deeply investing in their web experience by building progressive web apps. And the reach of these PWAs is now truly everywhere, with support across every major browser. And it's easier than ever to build great web experiences with tools like Lighthouse and AMP, and so many more of our web developer products that you'll hear about throughout I/O. The web platform is light years ahead of where it was in Google's early days, and it remains as core as ever to our mission. We're excited about the host of new use cases made possible by today's modern web, so be sure to check out the web platform's State of the Union talk later today to learn more. And now, please join me in welcoming Rich to talk about updates to material design.
Thanks, Tal. I'm going to talk about Material Design's new approach to customizing your apps and share some of the new tools and resources we've created. We introduced Material Design in 2014 as a system for creating bold, beautiful, and consistent digital products across platforms. We were responding to the desire that we heard from you and developers around the world for clear design guidance, for advice that would make the experiences you create better for your users. Material has become the design foundation for all Google products. And you've taken it and launched it into millions of apps. But we've heard two sentiments especially clearly after hundreds of design reviews with product teams and developers. First, that you didn't always see Material as flexible enough, that products from different brands looked too similar. And second, that our engineering support for Material needed to be stronger so that you could more easily realize your design vision. Our goal has always been to provide more than just a design blueprint. We are committed to delivering resources, tools, and engineering components to make it easier for product teams to work together seamlessly from design to development so that you can deliver customized experiences for your users. That's why we're proud to announce Material Theming, a major update to the Material Design system. With Material Theming, we're delivering a truly unified and adaptable design system. It enables you to express your brand's unique identity using color, using type, and shape consistently across your product. Material Theming retains the consistent guidance from Material and expands on it. Let's take a look.
What if it was possible to design and build better, so your ideas could scale from a single sheet to a system? With Material, you can apply color dynamically so that every touch enhances the character of your design. Typography is adaptable, so you can express more by customizing for style and legibility. Craft an experience that's responsive across device and platform. Streamline collaboration with tools and open source code, making it easy to express your brand's unique identity, balancing form and function down to every last detail. Material Design isn't a single style. It's an adaptable design system inspired by paper and ink and engineered so you can build beautiful, usable products faster. What will you make?
Material Theming puts you in charge. When you make just a few decisions about aspects like color or type, for example, we'll apply those throughout your design. You'll see options for customization across our design guidelines. And we've added hundreds of new examples, all still Material, but reflecting a much wider range of products and styles. When you see something you like, you can use our handy redline viewer to check the dimensions, padding, and even the hex color values. Today, we're also releasing two new tools to make it faster to go from design to implementation. First, Material Theme Editor. This plugin for the popular application Sketch helps designers create and customize a unique Material theme. Change one theme value, and it cascades across the design. Then, that work can be shared easily using Material Gallery. This is the tool used by product teams at Google to review and comment on design iterations, and it's now available to everyone. When it's time to build, you can see automatic red lines, you can identify exactly which component is being used and how it's been customized. But we need to make all of this easier not just to design, but to realize in code. So, our open source material design components for Android, iOS, the web, and Flutter, all with material theming, are available today. These are the same components we use at Google to build our apps. And just as Google creates a custom material theme that best reflects our brand in products starting with the new Gmail for the web, you can use these same components to create an experience and a theme that is right for you. More material components and material theming customizations will be coming soon, so keep an eye out. We'll be launching regularly. And we'll keep listening, so please keep the feedback coming. Material theming, a new approach to customizing your apps, powered by open source components, new tools, and design guidance, all available today. To make Material yours, get started at material.io. And now, here's Ja to talk about progress in AI.
Thanks, Rich. Hi, everyone. At Google, we believe developers are driving the real-world impact of AI. Of course, we understand how complex this can be. Machine learning is a challenge in any environment, but today's developers often target multiple platforms and devices. They also have to juggle issues like processing power, bandwidth, latency, and battery life. That's why we're committed to making AI easier to use, no matter what platform you're on. This begins in the cloud, which makes machine learning accessible to customers in every industry. We believe success in AI should be determined by your imagination, not your infrastructure. We invest the best technology to power Google's products, and Google Cloud is making these resources available to you. For example, our cloud TPUs are widely available in public beta, making machine learning more affordable than ever before. Until recently, training a model to a high accuracy on the ImageNet dataset cost thousands of dollars. But in the Stanford benchmark contest, our TPUs reached the same level for less than $50. Cloud TPUs are now available to everyone, and getting started is as simple as following this link. And this morning, we announced our new third-generation TPU, demonstrating our ongoing commitment to AI hardware. The cloud also lets us share our best technology through a growing range of machine learning APIs. Our latest is Cloud Text-to-Speech, based on DeepMind's WaveNet, the same technology behind the voices in the Google Assistant. It generates speech with 32 voices in multiple languages and variants. In just a few lines of code, your application can realistically speak to your users across many platforms and devices. For more sophisticated interaction with your users, text-to-speech can be paired with Dialogflow Enterprise Edition. Dialogflow makes it easy to build a conversational agent, even with no prior experience. It understands the intent and context of what a user says and generates accurate responses, whether you are shopping for clothes or scheduling a bike repair. Finally, cloud AI is always exploring new ways to put more power in the hands of developers. This effort continues with Cloud AutoML, which automates the creation of machine learning models. Our first widely available release will be AutoML Vision, which makes it possible to recognize images unique to your application without writing any code. You provide the training examples, and AutoML does the rest. Our alpha users are already accomplishing a lot with AutoML, from identifying poisonous spiders to helping the blind better understand images. But vision is just the beginning. We're looking forward to bringing AutoML to more machine learning tasks very soon. To learn more about all cloud AI products, including AutoML early adoption, please visit our site. But cloud AI technology isn't the only thing that we're pushing in new directions. TensorFlow has become a standard in machine learning since we open sourced it 2 years ago, with 13 million downloads. Now, we're focusing on bringing it to new platforms. We recently announced TensorFlow.js, which brings machine learning to millions of web developers through JavaScript. New models can be created right in the browser or on the server side through Node.js, while models trained offline can be imported and run with WebGL acceleration. Of course, there is a big world beyond the browser. We also introduced TensorFlow Lite last year, which brings machine learning to edge devices, including Android and iOS phones. This allows offline processing with low latency and ensures sensitive data never leaves the device. TensorFlow Lite also supports hardware like the Raspberry Pi, so smart devices like the AIY project, Vision, and Voice kits can leverage it as well. As Dave announced earlier this morning, we've released the ML Kit in beta, an SDK that brings Google's machine learning capabilities to mobile developers through Firebase. The same technology that has powered Google's own experiences, like text recognition in Google Translate and Smart Reply in Gmail, will be available to power your own apps. Our vision for AI at Google is turning the latest technology into products that make better life for everyone, but we cannot do this without creative developers like you. Together, we can bring AI to the world. To talk more about how Google is supporting mobile development, let me introduce Francis Ma. Thank you.
Thank you, Jia. Our mission for Firebase is to help mobile app teams succeed by providing a platform to help you solve key problems across the lifecycle of your app, from building your app to improving app quality to growing your business. We've come a long way since we expanded Firebase 2 years ago from a real-time database to a broad app development platform. And it's so exciting to see there are now over 1.2 million apps actively using Firebase every month, including many of the top Android and iOS apps like Pandora, Pinterest, and Flipkart. We appreciate so many of you are trusting us with your apps, whether you're a sole developer or working in large teams. We're committed to helping developers at companies of all sizes to succeed. Now, one of our key goals is to help you take care of the critical, but sometimes less glamorous parts of app development so you can focus more on your users and build cool stuff. As an example, we've worked hard to ensure we're ready to meet your compliance needs with many privacy and security standards, as well as with the upcoming GDPR. We are also continuing to expand the platform to further simplify everyday developer challenges. A little over a year ago, the Fabric team joined forces with us to bring the best of our platforms together. And we've made a lot of progress since then. In the last couple of months, we've brought Crashlytics, Fabric's flagship crash reporter, into Firebase, and we've improved it by integrating it with Google Analytics so you can see what users did in your app that led up to a crash for much easier diagnosis. With the combination of Crashlytics, performance monitoring, and Google Analytics, Firebase is not just a platform to help you build your app's infrastructure, but also to help you better understand and improve your app. Another major set of advancements we've been making to Firebase over the last year is introducing machine learning to the platform. A few months ago, we took our first step with the release of Firebase Predictions. Predictions applies ML to your analytics data and predicts the future behavior of your users so you can take proactive actions to optimize your app. For example, you can lower the difficulty of your game for users who are likely to abandon it, or send special offers to users who are likely to spend. And you can also run A/B tests with different setup to see which of these perform best. So Predictions was the first step that we took to bring the power of Google's ML to work for you. And today, we're taking our second step with the release of ML-Kit in public beta. ML-Kit, we're bringing together Google's machine learning technologies from across Google and making that available to every mobile developer working on Android and iOS. ML-Kit provides 5 out-of-the-box APIs like image labeling and text recognition. And these APIs can run on-device for low-latency processing or in the cloud for higher levels of accuracy. You can also bring your own custom TensorFlow Lite model if you have more specific needs. So let's talk through an example of how ML-Kit can be used in an app. Now, I'm a dad of 2, and my young kids are always so curious about the world around them, and I thought it'd be fun to build an app where we can take pictures and identify objects in them. And by using ML-Kit's on-device image labeling API, it's easy for me to apply ML to identify different objects, like it's a dog, a tree, or a bridge. Now, as many of you are aware, one of the key challenges of building for mobile is having a low latency response and assurance that it can work even without a network connection. And by using ML-Kit's on-device API, I can be assured that image labeling will work even if I'm out on a remote hike with no network connectivity. So on-device APIs are great for low latency processing, but there are other times where I want to optimize for highest accuracy possible. For example, when identifying landmarks, I want my kids to know this is the Golden Gate Bridge and not just any bridge. And ML-Kit's cloud-powered APIs give me that. They have a much higher level of accuracy and can be easily integrated right from my app client code. Then there are other situations where you may have more specific needs than what the out-of-the-box APIs can cover. And for those times, you'd want to bring your own custom ML models. Now, as mobile developers, we know how important it is to keep your app binary small and be able to iterate on the experience rapidly. With ML-Kit, you can upload your TensorFlow Lite model and serve that through Google's global infrastructure. Your app can dynamically retrieve these models and evaluate them on device. This means you don't need to bundle the model with your app binary, and you can also update it without republishing your entire app. And since ML-Kit is available through Firebase, it's easy for you to take advantage of the broader Firebase platform. For example, experimenting with different ML models using A/B testing, or storing your image labels with Cloud Firestore, or measuring processing latency with performance monitoring, or understanding the impact on user engagement with Google Analytics. We are so excited about the possibilities that machine learning unlocks, whether you want to supercharge your growth or build amazing user experiences. We want to harness Google's advances to help you build and grow your app. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Nathan Martz to talk about another area of exciting advancements in mobile computing, augmented reality. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I gotta say, it is incredibly exciting to be here today. At Google, we believe that augmented reality represents one of the most exciting advances in mobile computing today. By enabling our devices to see and sense the world much like we do, AR allows us to interact with digital content and information in the context of the real world, which is exactly where it's often the most useful and accessible. And as our phones learn to see the world in new ways, they unlock new possibilities for the kinds of experiences that developers can create. That's why just 3 months ago, we launched AR Core, our platform for building augmented reality experiences to allow you to take advantage of this incredible new technology. And we've already seen some amazing apps. For example, you can now create a floor plan just by walking around your home. You can visualize the intricacies of the human nervous system at real-world scale. Or if you like, transform your dining room table into the home of your next virtual pet. And as you've been building, we've been learning and listening to your feedback. Today, we're rolling out a major update to AR Core to help you create even richer, more immersive and interactive experiences. First, we know that creating a 3D app can be challenging, especially when you have to write directly to lower-level APIs like OpenGL. That's why we've created SceneForm, a brand new 3D framework that makes it easy for Java developers to create AR Core applications. And the thing is, SceneForm is not just for people creating apps from scratch. Its design actually makes it really easy to quickly add AR Core features to apps that you've already released. Under the hood, the SceneForm SDK includes an expressive API, a powerful physically based renderer, and seamless support for 3D assets inside of Android Studio. Best of all, SceneForm is optimized for mobile, architected from the ground up with performance, memory, and binary size in mind. So we also know that sometimes as a developer, you want to build an AR app that can react to the specific physical objects in the real world. That's why today we're introducing augmented images, a new capability in AR Core that makes it possible to attach AR content and experiences to the physical images in the real world. And augmented images doesn't just detect the presence of a picture, it can actually compute the precise 3D orientation of that image in real time. So now you can use augmented images to do things like bring a textbook to life, create new forms of artwork. You can even see what's inside the toy box before you open it. Finally, though, we know that if we truly want our computers to work more like we do, they need to involve not just the things in our world, but the people in our lives. Fundamentally, our time here is spent with family and friends and colleagues. We collaborate, we create, we share experiences together. That's why we believe that every incredible thing that you can do by yourself in AR today, you should be able to do together with someone else. It makes me very proud to announce the next major step in how our phones see and understand the world, a new capability in AR Core that we call Cloud Anchors. With Cloud Anchors, we actually allow multiple devices to generate, a shared, synchronized understanding of the world so that multiple phones can see and interact with the exact same digital content in the same place at the same time. And this allows you as a developer to create applications that are collaborative and creative, multi-user and multiplayer. To show you exactly what I mean, we actually integrated Cloud Anchor support into our experimental open source AR drawing app, Just Align. Let's take a look. So, yeah. Thank you. We know that Cloud Anchors will enable many new kinds of AR experiences that combine the power of your device, your creativity, and the people around you. But because these experiences are so powerful, we believe that they should work regardless of the kind of phone you own. That's why I'm very excited to say that we're making AR Core's Cloud Anchors available on both Android and iOS devices. Yeah. pretty awesome. So everything that I've just talked about today, from scene form to augmented images to cloud anchors and more, is available for you to use right now. You can learn more about that and start creating your own ARCore powered app by going to developers.google.com/AR. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Jason to wrap things up. Thank you all very much for your time.
Thanks, Nathan. Hopefully you can see from our talks today that we're committed to meet you where you are, no matter what platform you're building on, and help you take advantage of the latest innovations from machine learning to augmented reality. And much of what you heard of today is built on top of our cloud technology. This includes powerful APIs around machine learning, smarter data analytics with BigQuery, and a focus on low latency and high reliability. And whenever possible, we try and take things out as open source, like Kubernetes and TensorFlow, so they can be broadly adopted and openly evolved across the industry. With our cloud technology, we're taking the lessons we've learned building large-scale software and bringing them to you. So I/O this year is bigger than ever, and we've got some great content lined up for the next few days. And you'll see we're doing something new this year, Inspiration Talks. They take a broader look at how the technology that you build affects the world around us. So we cover topics like building for a better tech-life balance, the future of computing, and using AI to transform healthcare. We all have a responsibility for what we build, as well as the people that we build for. So I hope you have a chance to check these out. And one of my favorite parts about having I/O so close to campus is that we're able to bring in more than 2,000 Googlers who built these products. They're here not only to help you, but more importantly, to get your feedback on what we can do better. My hope for this conference is that each of you walks away feeling that you can do something that you couldn't do before, and that you're able to use that knowledge to build things that matter. Thank you very much, and have a great Google I/O.